All right, so for today's lesson is a continuation from what we did in our first lesson this week. We're still solving system of equations using substitution, but now we're going to be looking at word problems. So we have two different word problems. We're going to look at them one at a time. And for both of these, I put the steps right here in the middle because we're going to follow those same steps. There's only one additional step that I want to add, and that is very simply, before you can do any of this, you need to make sure you have two equations. So you need to make sure you have two equations. And that might mean that you need to write the equations from these situations first. Okay, so that's really your first step. So if I look at this first one over here, these are both very silly, kind of stupid situations, but that's okay. Alfredo is the only pasta chef at a restaurant. When he arrives late for his shift, the restaurant is 7 orders behind. Alfredo can make 7 orders in an hour. Well, how can we write an equation from that? Well, let's think. He's the only pasta chef. He arrives late for a shift. They're 7 orders behind. So they're starting behind 7 orders, which means that it's not going to be a positive 7 where they're starting. They're starting negative 7. So that's B equals negative 7. Alfredo can make 7 orders an hour. Remember, that's our change. So that means that M equals 7. So I could very simply write this as an equation. Y equals 7x minus 7. And how about this one? Marinera works at the pasta restaurant across the street and is also the only chef. When she arrives for her shift at the same time as Alfredo, they are 3 orders behind. She can make 4 orders an hour. So just like we just did, our starting is 3 orders behind, so it's going to be negative 3. And she can make 4 orders an hour, so the M equals 4. So our second equation is y equals 4x minus 3. Okay, now that we have two equations, they want to know approximately how many hours will it take for both restaurants to have the same number of orders. So we have our two equations. Whenever it's asking for the same between two equations, that's referring to your system of equations. So we have these two equations, y equals 7x minus 7, and we have, make that a better 7, and we have y equals 4x minus 3.